In this lesson, we're going to look at the interface for 3ds Max 2014, and at a later date we'll look at many of these elements in a specific video, but this is just to get you familiar with the various names of the interface elements. We begin here with what I call the file management icon, and that's the little logo in the corner, which allows me to go ahead and do various things such as create new, save, and bring in and out different types of objects into 3ds Max. We also have some commonly used icons up here, such as a new scene, open, save, your undo and redo. Below that we have what we call the application bar. This is the line with various words of text, each one most similar to what you'll see in any Windows application, where you mouse over the text and you'll get a series of pull downs. So if I come down here, we go to View Cube, you'll see that this opens up several options for that category. Next, what we have here is the main toolbar. We'll be looking at these tools throughout the semester. Some of them we may not touch in this DMT 1100 class, where others you may use very commonly. Pretty much every other step you'll use move, rotate, scale, as well as some rendering icons. Over here you have the modeling, freeform, selection, object, paint, populate. These are more advanced techniques that we will not look at in this class. The big area here with the grid lines is called the workspace, and the workspace consists of various viewports. Now these viewports can be changed based on your desire. Right now I have 4 viewports, which means I can see an object 4 different ways at one time. Later on down the road we're going to talk about viewports specifically and how to maximize and minimize them so that you can customize them and again make them the way you want them. Down here to the left, this is new to 2013 and 2014. This area allows you to customize the various types of viewport settings, drag them over here, and then click them, and they'll update immediately as opposed to having to go in and recustomize them each time. To the right, we have what we call the panels. And the panels are a series of different tabs which are going to represent kind of stages of your projects. Actually, we'll begin by creating geometry here in the very first couple lessons, but then we're going to learn how to modify it. There's hierarchy, which is going to allow us to go in and choose what objects are dominant over others. We have a motion tab, which will be very useful in the animation phase. Display we'll not really touch on in this class, but then we have some utilities that will help us out as we're doing the modeling, animating, and material applications. Specifically, we'll look at the panels here in the near future, but just for an idea, each panel typically has another series of icons here, so we're kind of subdividing that category. You can create geometry, shapes, lights, cameras, and etc. And then each one of those categories is going to have a series of pull downs which will change the interface a little bit and let us choose from a series of options. So most of this class is not going to be memorizing this, but determining where things are and then experimenting through trial and error and pretty much navigating through the various menus to see what you want. At the bottom here we have the timeline. We won't really touch that till pretty much the 4th unit in this course, where we're going to learn about animation. But this is your time slider, and this is what happens when you animate. The time slider will move, showing you the various objects that change and are manipulated. Below here we have an X, Y, and Z. Those are the coordinates. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a future lesson, where when an object is selected on the scene, it's going to give us 3 values, and those values represent the distance from this origin. Over to the far right here we have some play, rewind, and fast forward options. These are animation controls. And then the very far right here we have some various zoom tools, which we'll look at when we talk about viewports. Zooming in and out of the viewport, maximizing the objects big enough in the viewport, and whatnot. So this was just an overview of the basic interface. Once you've launched Max, I encourage you to open this up and take a look at it. It's very intimidating at first. However, as I said, in future lessons we'll break down these various components, and then as we start building our models, you'll get very comfortable with going in and using the same tools in a repetitive state, which will get you more comfortable with that. Alright, we'll see you in the next lesson.